Welcome to the RetroCast, where we talk about things you don't care about, but we do.
And unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
I have bread.
I have Doritos.
I have nothing because I don't eat in my room because I don't like ants.
I mean, I don't have ants and or roaches, so ha.
Yeah,
I would like,
you son of a bitch.
I would like to mention that my first time coming on the podcast and my second time, my introductions were like very formal and very like if I was going on a fucking episode of like The Tonight Show, you know what I mean? And now I'm just like, I have bread.
That's a whole intro. I'm Trent and I have bread.
I have bread. Yep. This is the fourth time I've recorded with these guys, but the second time that you'll see me on the channel. And yeah, I'm pretty much used to it now, so it's fine. Now you guys get to see my real personality come out.
Yeah. Ooh, and also I want to make mention that welcome to the only podcast on the internet where I forget to do the intro before we actually jump into it. Boom, did it?
Nice.
Got to keep the only podcast gag going for as long as possible.
It's like Picasso, but it's a podcast.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't tell if you guys had really caught on to it, honestly.
No, I did. The first time you did it.
The beginning of every podcast has just been, welcome back to the only podcast on the internet that blank.
Yep. I caught the first time you said it, I was like, yeah, that's got to be that. It's got to be. Yep.
Yeah. I said it. I planned it in my head like an hour before we did the podcast. I'm like, hey, that sounds nice. I'm going to say that for the first episode and see how it pans out. And it did well, so I kind of just tried to keep it running.
Yeah.
Even though those first two episodes will never be seen.
As the years go by, though, it's going to get harder and harder. We're going to be like, welcome to the only podcast on the internet that has a guy named Dillan and Trent has brown skin with like lightly brown hair and glasses. Like, you have to name off like 7 specific things.
I mean, they don't all have to be true. Like, the first one was welcome to the only podcast that is on the internet.
That is on the
only
internet.
Podcast that has men on it.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, we're the person. This is the first ever podcast ever recorded ever. Every single podcast you've ever heard in your entire life was just a warm up for this one.
No, it was all an illusion.
It was all an illusion. Yeah.
Fever dream.
Joe Rogan's actually a hardcore like gang lord.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is your mental image of hatred.
Joe Rogan's actually what was his name? Saddam Hussein.
Yep.
But like alive.
I have a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
What is the gap between a radio talk show and a podcast? Like,
one is broadcast live on the radio, and the other is broadcast live on the internet and or pre-recorded.
Yeah. Do podcasts don't tend to have like ads? They tend to have like plugs, but like not ads.
Well,
radio will be like
direct ad reads where the hosts will read off a very specific thing as if they have a gun to their head.
Yeah. Radio people will be like, and now we're gonna cut the commercial, and they cut the commercial, and you actually hear like pre-recorded advertisements. But on a podcast, the guy will be like, oh yeah, by the way, for your lube and lube specialties, go to Jim's Lube Bar. Anyways, back to talking about dicks.
Here's Mine Underwear, the German underwear company that makes the best underwear in the world. You can use this code to get your free underwear.
Yeah.
My undies.
No, Dylan, don't say the company's actual name. They don't sponsor us.
No, I didn't say
for the
undies.
best.
I said undies. I
said
undies,
yeah.
Brett.
For the best breast implants the nation of Germany has to offer, Hitler's Titlers. Yeah. No, it's perfect.
That is probably the highlight joke, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But
video for these, if you want to cut one of those together, that would be great because it's going up on your channel anyway.
Yeah. I think on my channel I'll post the highlights and then we'll link to yours with a full podcast.
Yeah, and then the full podcast will link back to your channel for highlights and your original content.
It's like the slave trade. It all goes around in a circle.
Or a triangle, maybe.
Oh, oof.
Oh, I got another one. Welcome
Rip
to
you,
the
history man.
podcast where 2 people on this show have a YouTube channel and 1 doesn't. Goodbye.
Soon. I'm sure you will at some point.
No.
He had one, but he never uploaded anything.
Nice.
I technically still have one that I don't upload anything on it.
So what's on the talk list tonight, Brett?
What's on the talk list? We got the Mario-thon. We got a thing about grace periods between shootings. We got games with false difficulty.
Okay.
We got do dogs understand language?
Okay. I say we hit the lighter topics first, and then we head into because I would actually like to talk about the gray area between shootings. But I don't think we need to. We need to kind of open. We need to have the cheese on the broccoli. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was an analogy I learned in theater that I very much like.
that is actually a pretty good analogy that I've
Yeah.
never heard before. So thank you for introducing me to
Yeah,
that one.
sometimes you have to put a little cheese on the broccoli. But yeah, I say yeah. Go
I
ahead.
like how before we get into the actual topics, can I mention how I was just kind of darting around the list, and I just write these when I think of them, so it's like double random at that point. And you
Yeah.
could probably tell, and it made me giggle a little bit in my head at the fact that I jumped from false difficulty in video games to fucking mass shootings. Do dogs understand
The
language?
yeah. That's what I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck? But no, it's fine.
One of these things is not like the other.
Which one would you like to start with first? That's one of the like lighter ones. It is your show, or it's our show, but your show.
The dog
Yeah.
thing has been on.
Right. So, do dogs understand language? I think yeah, to an extent.
Like,
I couldn't.
I feel like
What it
you
is.
could.
hold on. Okay, we're good. I saw the connection dip a little bit, so I was trying to. Okay, back at it. By that question, I think when I wrote that down, if I'm remembering correctly, I was like, I know you can give a dog a command in English, like sit, and then they'll sit. But like, if you were to give them the same command in Spanish, like you trained them in Spanish, would they still? Like, I know it'd receive the same effect, but like, could they understand the difference? Or is it like?
I think I how should I put this? Because it does actually depend on the breed. Because not many people know this, but like the certain breeds are actually smarter than other breeds. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't have like there's a reason why you don't see like Yorkies as canine units. You know what I mean? Or like for like sniffing drugs. Besides the fact that they're tiny.
See that though.
Yeah, besides the fact that they're tiny, that was a weird analogy, but like golden retrievers and stuff. There's a reason why you don't really see them for like canine units and stuff. I'll use that specific same breed.
Yeah.
Even though canine or golden retrievers, as far as I know, have been used for like I think they were used for hunting. I don't know. I'm not a historian.
No,
they were used for something, weren't they?
They were used for hunting, but then like the breed of the like hound and stuff came about. So
Right.
golden retrievers actually became more of a house pet than anything else.
Right. I
Same
would
with
like
cats.
Yeah, I think cats were used for hunting at some point.
No, like certain breeds of cats were used for certain things, but then like
the way you said it.
Yeah, I think the calico was actually the first pet, like household pet.
Right, but I think here's what I think. I think that animals can understand certain things, but animals are they have to memorize. Let's say sit, you pointed your index finger down, motioning for a sitting motion on the ground.
Yeah.
I feel like if you taught him what that meant in English, and he knows how to do it in English, and you point to the ground when you say it, and you say sit and point to the ground, he's going to sit and point on the ground. However, I do feel like if you were to point to the ground and say sit in another language, he would not know what you're talking about. Because okay, go ahead, Dylan.
Well, like if you're using like the finger motion every time, he'd realize that when you say sit and point down, he wants sit. So if you say it in another language and you point down, he'd still get the message. Oh, pointing down, he wants me to sit.
Right, but let's say we didn't use
Let's
that.
say
Though. Like,
we don't.
yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't use body language. I don't think he would understand.
Yeah.
Just
Even-
verbally, I don't think it would work that way.
Now,
Yeah.
cats, on the other hand, I still feel like they're plotting against us.
You know what I feel like, Dylan?
Huh?
What?
I feel like cats are not only aliens, but interdimensional vampires that
Yes,
suck
that
the souls
suck
out
the
of
blood of the young. And they're also the 1%.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, so dogs don't understand, but cats maybe. Is that the consensus?
Yes,
Yeah.
cats maybe. Cats also
No,
maybe.
Cats definitely. Dogs maybe. And they're also aliens and hypnotizing, blood-sucking vampires.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys want to move down the topic list, or?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Lighter things, then go into heavier things.
Okay, yeah, because I do have 2 heavier things and 3 not so heavy things.
Right.
So did anybody do anything cool Valentine's Day? Because that just passed. It's probably old news by the time this gets released, but it's still worthy to talk about.
I did actually.
Is crying and masturbating? I mean, what?
No,
Same,
like
bro.
that. Yeah, like I mean, Trent knows what I did Valentine's Day.
I mean, that free premium for a day
Yeah,
is nice.
yeah, and my asshole
No.
still hurts from it, Dylan.
I punched
What?
the wall.
Whoa.
So
Jumping
so
straight in
talk
for the
about that.
in for the kill.
No, yeah.
I punched a wall that day, Trent. Like I got mad.
Oh yeah,
My
yeah,
wrist
yeah.
hurts.
Oh man.
You guys
Man.
enlighten me here because I'm 100% out of the loop on that. And
Can we
for the
wait,
audience-
Dylan? Before we tell him, names changed, right?
Names. She doesn't watch the channel. Names change if you want them to. Just don't go into full detail.
Okay.
About the
I'll
changing
be
more
extremely.
about,
I'll be extremely vague about it. Trust me. I'm not gonna say that on the channel. Trust me. So, and we'll call you know who. Let's just use my pseudonym I do for every girl. Let's say Abigail. All right. Let's just say you know who is Abigail. Me and Dylan had a pretty interesting
Abigail.
situation. Yeah. Let's just say it's not the same Abigail, which they didn't hear the first story, but anyways.
Know, Brett, I'll tell you later.
Yeah. Oh, are we still gonna tell the story?
Yeah. I'm telling
Okay.
him later. I'm telling him later.
Okay. So here's what happened. So, me and Dylan, we're really, really close friends, right? And
Yeah, same thing.
yeah, and I'm in a relationship with Dylan's sister. Dylan is still, my best friend. We've never let that get in the way of it. Even when me and his sister had that brief period we weren't together, like we never let that get in the way.
Yeah.
Which is very respectable of you.
Yes.
It is.
And
Good.
as a respectable friend, I never talked about like
Anything.
and I'm being very respectful when I say this, Dylan. I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah.
I never talked about like things me and Katie might have like done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I respect that.
A blowjob out back of a Wendy's, but
but
that nervous giggle does not help your case.
It doesn't.
But we're not going to talk about that with him on here.
Anyway.
So Abigail, who is a person who really, 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 I guess, doesn't like herself or just feels the need to make other people feel bad, felt the need to get that information. Well, I had me and Katie are kind of open about it to people because I mean we're adults, you know what I mean? I mean we're not saying we're going out and telling the world about it, but I mean we're
but like me being like
I've never talked about it with Dylan ever.
Would make them very uncomfortable.
Yes, that's my number one rule. Like if I date a sibling, I never tell the other sibling like anything about that. But I trust Dylan enough to where if me and Katie were having an issue like in our relationship, I would tell Dylan and be like, "Hey, can you give me some advice?" Because he knows her probably better than I do. To be honest. But she decided to take the information and like make fun of him about it and kind of pick on him with other people, and it was a bad day for him already, but like that made it worse. Shitty. Yeah, and he explicitly, if I'm not mistaken, you were like, "Hey, stop! That's making me really uncomfortable."
Multiple times.
Yeah, and she still kept on. And the funny thing is, whenever I was chewing her out, because I'm a human and I get angry about things, I'm not going to act like I'm super level-headed about everything, even though I do consider myself to be a generally level-headed person.
Yeah.
She was trying to throw people under the bus and was like blaming everyone else, which is funny because those same people were apparently there while I was messaging her and were like saying mean stuff about me, which is hilarious. Or saying stuff about the situation, I guess you could say. Which is funny because I don't think they knew that she threw them under the bus, which is hilarious.
No, I think
I know one of them found out. I'm not gonna say who it was because obviously respect and all that, but
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Emma told them. Emma and Ash have also been on and stuff. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure Emma told Ash and them.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, you name drop, saw name drop, but yeah, they did. So, yeah, I mean they don't care, but yeah. So that specific, yeah. So that happened, and poor Dillan, he had to deal with that, and I feel bad for him because that's the stuff that they said.
Is honestly something shitty to have to go through.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I told her. Like, because I almost said her name. Abigail was trying to pull the excuse of, oh, well, you and Katie should never talk about it, and I was like, no, because me and Katie are adults, and me saying, oh, me and her did this stuff isn't the same as you using the information and basically harassing someone you call a friend with it. That's their sibling. Because it would be different. It would be different if I was like running around like obnoxiously saying it and everything to people.
Yeah,
but when you take that information and you specifically find the sibling of that person and you use that information as a way to harass them, that's when it leaves the territory of, oh, party A shouldn't have said that thing, to I'm party B and I'm being a shitty person.
Yeah, and when I was talking to Emma about this last night, we went into a lot of detail about it and how when it started, Ash had literally Ash was literally just messing around, and then she was like, and then Abigail was like, oh yeah, Trent told me, and I was just like, nah, I don't think he did. Me being very uncomfortable with the situation.
Yeah, and the thing is, like I said,
very uncomfortable.
Look.
No, it's fine now. It's fine now because I can laugh at it.
Yeah, and like I would never have told, I never would be like, hey, Dylan did this with your sister.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Now I can laugh at it because one, I just think it's hilarious, but I still find it disturbing.
I mean, that's fair.
And when she kept bringing it up and bringing it up, I'm just like, look, stop it.
Yeah.
I've asked you multiple times.
Right.
And then I snapped and she was like, well, you don't need to yell at me because now I'm mad and I'm not gonna stop. Oh, let me just start to play the victim card.
Right. And you're referring to quote unquote Abigail.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. That's what I thought.
When I when I hit the wall, because I told you guys this in Stafford's, or I told Katie at least, which is my sister. So
yeah.
I told her, okay, and then she was like, well, since I don't really know Abigail, I'm gonna tell Trent because Trent does. And I was like, that's fine, just get someone to talk to him about it. Okay. Yeah. So that happens, and then I'm holding the door open, like I was letting everyone into Stafford's class, and I went to head to credit recovery. Well, okay, on the way to my class, Abigail passes me and one of my friends, and she's like, hey, how about next time you tell everyone what actually happened? And I was like, oh, I did.
Oh,
and
and
said,
yeah,
but you kept bringing it up and kept bringing it up. Okay, and then I'm gonna call this guy, I don't know, Jimmy Johns.
Yeah, let's just say Jimmy Johns.
Yeah, Jimmy Johns. Okay, when she brought up Jimmy Johns and it saying, "Oh well, he's been saying it, and so have everyone else." No, okay.
Right.
When they brought it up, Jimmy John had the flu.
Right. And
Okay?
so
he wasn't there. He was there the first day, and then everything else was he had the flu, so he wasn't really there to bring anything up. He was also very disturbed.
It
that actually made me laugh.
The thing is too, and like I said, I'm gonna go on the record and say this. It's not the fact that they know. It's just what I told Abigail. It's not the fact that they know about it, because I mean, me and Katie were adults. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were together for a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not that, and I mean, even Katie's talked about it. You know, it's the fact that they use that against her brother.
Just her though. Like, Ash didn't use it against me, and when I was Ash was like, I'll stop.
So yeah, that was me and Dylan's Valentine's Day, and I would like to mention too, throughout this whole situation, as Dylan can probably attest to, I took the initiative and was like taking care of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I pretty much told Dylan, I was like, "Don't worry about it." Like, I went and took care of it. Needless to say.
Yeah.
So
like, I was legit in tears after lunch, like, because I was like getting tired of it, and then on the way to study skills, after she said all that crap, that's when I hit the wall and hurt my wrist.
Yeah. So that happened.
The day started off horrible.
Right. So
hold on. I'm sorry. I'm keeping going, but like, this actually just makes me laugh because Brett understands how I talk to Alex. So we're watching we were watching Glory in Scruggs class, okay?
It's a good movie.
It was, yeah. In one, she was like, "This scene was filmed on Jekyll," okay? And then Alex brings up the fact that, "Oh, hey, I fished in that spot. I caught me a big old fish, dish big," and just held his arms out like halfway across the
Have you guys talked about Alex before on the channel?
Yeah, dude, we did a whole video.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. But,
all right, just making sure, because I didn't know they had the pretense that he was super southern.
I don't even care if I name drop him, even if we hadn't, because I hate him.
I mean, fair.
Hey, if you're watching this, I hate you.
Fucking Christ.
He knows I do.
If you're watching this, Alex, do not come on the podcast and defend yourself.
Yeah, do not. We will not let. But anyway, so, I'm like, dude, Alex, we don't care. No one in this class cares that you caught a fish in a little hole. And he was like, "Shut up, Dylan. No one cares about you." Yeah, that's kind of the difference between you and me. Right. I know when people don't care, and you think everyone, drop your ego and get with yourself. Like, you need to stop being so egotistical. And that goes with everyone at our school. Yeah, I'm calling literally everyone that is my friend.
What's that noise?
I think that might be on my end. My phone keeps vibrating. Hold on, let me see if I can do anything about that.
It sounds like a razor, like an electronic razor.
There we go. I put my phone on mute instead of vibrate. It's good.
Okay. Everyone at our school has this ego to them. Okay? Like,
exactly. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like Logan. Okay?
Oof. Which one?
Like,
Ooh, cutting it sharp. You seeing this, Logan? If you're seeing this, come on the podcast. Defend yourself.
You don't even got to defend yourself. You wouldn't even talk to me the other day. You just gave me candy. Okay.
Wait, which one?
He said he did that as a peace offering, Dylan. You can't be mad at the man for giving you candy.
I wanted to talk to him about this crap, and he just gave me candy. Like,
is there something? Is there something I don't know about?
No. Yeah. To enlighten you and the audience, I don't know how it goes on Dylan's end. I'm gonna recount my version of the story, and then Dylan, after I'm done, you can add
like what he said about it. Like, go.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you exact words from what I remember. If I don't remember, I'm gonna paraphrase very humbly, and try my best not to exaggerate the situation. But what happened is I was going out of class, and I ran into him in the hallways like I do every day, and he goes, and we just went about our normal like 2-minute conversation before we were both forced to get to class, and we were talking, and he goes on his walk away from the conversation, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I don't want Dylan anywhere near this project," and I'm like, "Why?" And he walks back up to me and goes, "Because he's a douchebag and he makes fun of everything that I like." And I'm like,
Oh,
okay. If you want to be, I mean, we can. And then he started walking away, and I was like, we can talk about this later, and I'll see what I can do to talk to him about anything that he said. And he's like, oh, it's nothing in specific that he said, and he can't bring up an example for whatever reason. So I make the assumption that he just generally doesn't like Dylan and needs an excuse to.
Time to redeem myself. Okay.
And then
hard.
I set up this thing, and Dylan, the reason he didn't talk to you might be partially on me, because I told him that I would be the one to initiate it, and we would talk.
Oh, this guy's. I'll let you get back to this, but I just killed this guy, and his username was Watch Out Trayvon.
Oh my god.
Ooh. All right, continue. Sorry, I had to. No, I had to.
That's very noteworthy, honestly.
Anyway, so yeah. Continue, Brett.
So yeah, I set up the thing. I set up the meeting between Dylan and Logan, and I was like, I'm gonna talk to you both, and you both are gonna figure this out with me there as a mediator. And I told Logan, because in my exact words, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it in any way. I said, I'm gonna be there as a mediator, both because you can be a little unfair, and Dylan is easy to anger.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, and I know how it can get, because you'll start bringing up petty stuff, and then he'll get pissed off, and then he'll overreact.
And then I have to fight someone for Dylan, because I would totally do that for you.
I can take him myself.
Oh,
it's like we can. I can take him anyway. Time to go hard.
Yeah, you tell your version of the events from start to finish. Now that I've kind of covered all my bases here.
So I'm gonna start off with the reasons why I don't like Logan that much. Because one, he's the type of person who's like, okay, I have an ego and I think I'm so much smarter than everybody, so I'm gonna spout random facts that nobody cares about. Okay?
He can quite literally be the definition of that actually meme sometimes.
He literally is. And what triggered this in me was one of the blood drive. We had some people come up to our table and they were like, hey, and when I have
what?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No, that's not a thing.
That can't be a thing.
I was confused. I was like, what?
A lot of my friends have acne and they gave blood. I'm fat and I was going to give blood, but I didn't.
Well, at the time I wasn't able to give blood, I don't think.
You're still not able to because you're kind of underweight.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Kind of what?
Oh. Brett's kind of underweight, so he's not really allowed to give blood.
Ah, I see. Yeah.
But like at a doctor's office and stuff, they have to like legally take blood.
Yeah.
Like they don't take a lot, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they take like maybe like half a syringe.
Understand. Yeah. But like, okay. And I was like, well, you see, a lot of people who have acne still give blood. Like a lot of my friends who have acne give blood. How are you different? And then he just was like, oh, because I read this article or something where like people with acne can't give blood because it's like in their, and I'm like, dude, no, like that is
why don't you ask the people who are actually taking the blood?
I did legit.
Yeah, no, I was talking about him. Like instead of reading an article,
they were legit like, you can still give blood if you have acne, like we are. And he was like, and I was like, I'll take a sheet, yeah, because I have acne and I'm fat too, but like I missed the thing because I didn't get the sheet signed, and they called my name, and I was like,
it's not even really that I'm underweight. It's like that on top of the fact that I don't know my blood type, so that kind of puts me a lot further down the list.
True, yeah.
And
yeah. But then then there's like every time like me and Brett are having a conversation in the morning,
Fucking shit.
and Logan like will come up to him and just interrupt our conversation, and I'm just like, dude, like we're trying to talk, and like it's literally just about the project thing, and I'm like, look, you like they spent like they used like he in AV, like y'all spent a lot of time together last year, so y'all had a lot of time to talk about this. Okay, I
Yeah,
barely
Dylan, but
see
you don't
you.
account for the fact that it's an ongoing process. It's not something you can hash
Well,
out in 2
I,
hours and be like, I'm going to do
you
this,
know what I
this,
mean?
and this.
Like I know this, but like
Just playing
I'm,
devil's advocate for a minute. There are a lot of things that we weren't clear on before we set up a Discord server to make sure we were both on the same page. Now we do have an opportunity to talk about that stuff. Anyway,
yeah, like,
continue your
but
story.
even throughout the day, y'all like have the opportunity to talk about it, but like the like okay, he just bring it up with like even like at lunch he'd sit down and we would be having a genuine conversation and he'd bring it up and I'm like, we're still talking, so like I mean, and he'd get mad at me because of that, because I did bring that up one day. Okay, then there's the whole him calling me a douchebag thing. Okay, I know I'm condescending. I know that like I know that
He's
y'all
just
have
too
this, and
sensitive.
I don't care. I honestly don't care about it. Like not being mean or anything. Like this is y'all's thing. Like this is y'all's thing. I understand. Like I don't care if I have a part in it or not.
Yeah.
Like, and then the other day, this got me real worked up. The whole him bringing Benjamin into it.
This is like you're telling me like the backstory of a Tolkien character. There's a lot here I did.
Like him
No
bringing
offense, I don't mean
Benjamin.
that's like a
Most
like,
of this I didn't even know. This is just stuff that,
literally,
other than like the stuff that directly involved me that he's said, there's like maybe 2 occurrences that I've been
Dylan's
told
getting a
of.
lot of therapy this session.
like I don't even know if like it's involving Benjamin, but literally because Benjamin sits right next to me at lunch, so I literally hear every single word he says. Okay, so
Does Benjamin have anything to recount about it?
I no idea. I haven't really talked to him about it because, like I said, Benjamin's been kind of iffy.
Also, Logan was kind of a douche the other day. I just want to say it outright. He was kind of in my face about because I was like, man, we were talking about the lunch situation because he was on his way to lunch and I was off to my next class. And we were talking as we walked, and he was like, yeah, I'm about to go to lunch, and I was like, man, I wish I had first lunch because now I'm forced to sit with Marshall because that's the only person I even know in that lunch.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a shitty situation. He goes, yeah, well, I have lunch with all your friends. So, and it was like, dude, you don't have to be like a douche about it. You don't have to act like you resent me because you have lunch with my friends. Like, they're not even my friends.
All of your friends are friends with him except me and Emma. Me and Emma don't really.
What does Emma have against him?
IDK.
But like, okay, like I don't care about y'all's thing. It's y'all's thing. This is what
Emma,
you
also,
do with him.
Come on the podcast, not to defend yourself because we haven't said anything about you yet, but like,
oh god, I would. Emma's like my little sister, so I would never like talk bad about her.
Just like a genuine, I want you as a guest. If you're listening to this, yeah, come on, do that.
Oh yeah, I would be down.
Me, Emma.
I mean, Emma, like I said, Emma, I'm gonna brag on her for a second, but like Emma's like,
Emma.
Yeah, she's like my little sister. I tell her a lot more personal stuff than I tell a lot of my friends because it is like me and her are almost like siblings. Like I connect to her really well, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, me and her are genuinely related, and we talk like maybe once every couple of weeks.
Yeah. I've literally known Emma since pre-K, so like that's like 500 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I've literally known her since pre-K because like that was like the before school times.
That was like the before time.
And Dylan, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm just looking at it from the audience perspective. What time are we at in the podcast, and when should we move on to the next topic? Because this is a lot of yeah.
We're 35 minutes into the recording right now.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking at it from an audience perspective. Like I made a joke about it, but like this seems like a lot of like name dropping, and like I understand a lot was going on because I know the people from our school and Brett does too. But you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean,
but looking in, I can see how it can be kind of a not so interesting topic for the audience. So Dylan, if you want, I'm gonna give you an opportunity here to wrap up your stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, but like,
I don't want to straight cut you off.
Back to the thing I've been repeating 3 times. It's your and his. I don't care about that because we have our own thing. We have our own things we do together. So like, I don't even care about like retro code or whatever it was. Like, I don't care about it because it's y'all's thing, and I have no say so in it. Therefore, I don't care. And he needs to get that through his head.
For the record, Retro Code Studios is not a name that I came up with.
Yeah, so, I kind of figured that.
And also, like, just so I'm not seen as a douchebag for having literally everything I do involve my branding somehow. That was his idea, not mine. So anyway,
I would claim it. I would totally claim it. If I had like 4 separate projects that were like couch something, I'd be like, "Nah, it's our brand."
No, that's not.
You're gonna wear watches one day that have that name on.
Yes.
Literally, I'm probably eventually like gonna have like a name tag if I ever actually do anything noteworthy. I'm gonna have like a name tag that has retro something on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I've consistently had that as my branding for literally any project I do, just slap retro on it.
Yeah, like, because me and Brett, like, the movie, like, the whole movie thing, like, that's, like, a whole brand within itself somehow.
The original name for that was literally Retro Brett the Movie as a working title.
Yeah, but, like, what are we even going to call that? Like,
it's Filmmakers right now, as it stands. The script that's been written for 3.5 years now and still hasn't had a single full draft done.
But yeah, continue with your story, Dylan.
Yeah, no, that was it. He just needs to get over himself and realize I don't care about it.
What's his name?
Logan.
Well, Logan, as Brett said earlier, feel free to
come on the podcast. And defend yourself.
I mean, I've never met him, so it'd be nice to meet you. At least you'll have one person here who
doesn't know anything,
and will be interested in hearing it. Yep.
Yeah. And for the record, coming off of this topic, I mean no bad blood between me and Logan. Perfectly. Anybody that I've said anything bad about so far, excluding Alex, that I don't have any bad blood against you. I'm just completely stating.
I mean, like, yeah, no bad.
You're being
him. Like, he just needs to understand.
I'm just airing out my dirty laundry on podcast right now, which I know is kind of unprofessional, but you might as well.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like you sound like we're not the Joe Rogan experience. You know what I mean? We can get away with airing out some dirty laundry right now.
Yeah,
dude, I literally have a concept video planned or a concept for a video, I should say, about being a small YouTuber and the shit you can get away with.
A lot.
I mean, to be fair, a lot.
The worst thing I've gotten away with so far, I'd say, is implying that I was hit by a truck.
Wait. What about the KK campfire video?
The KK campfire video, yeah. I got away with that scot-free, and that video is still monetized.
You know it's scotch-free, right? I got away with scotch-free.
What?
Scotch-free, not scot-free.
No, it's scot-free.
Are you
scot-free, dude?
I've always heard it scotch-free.
Why would they?
I don't know where you've been hearing
I was about to say, I've heard it scot-free, like SCOT.
Every single time.
I've always heard scotch.
Like the tape? How would that make sense?
I don't know, like, because scotch tape is like, it's like clear, but like not too clear. So you're still getting away with it?
Okay, look. I mean, to be fair, I thought cracker meant like salty crackers.
Same.
But anyways, so what's the next topic for the night?
Oh yeah, moving on. We're at like let's see what the time is in between topics real quick. We are at 40 minutes. Okay. So
and
the
how
next
long did
topic
you?
I feel we should get into, let me erase the Valentine's Day thing off the list now that we've thoroughly discussed that and a few other things getting off on a tangent.
Right.
Let's talk about, let's see, we got false difficulty in video games and the Mario-thon.
And then after that, we have the big topic.
Yeah, after that we have two big
But how long do you want? I was gonna say we shoot for like an hour and a half, personally.
I mean, yeah, honestly, but like tonight I felt like I cut it a bit short on the first episode, giving us an hour 10.
Yeah,
so
this
maybe
one,
like an hour 20.
Yeah, this
hour
one
30.
seems a lot more like uppity, I guess you could say. Like we're all kind of we're now that we've gotten one out of the way, I feel like our overall like energy's a lot better for this one.
Yeah.
It feels better because like it's less of, oh, this is a random crazy thing we're trying out, and oh, this is the second time we've gone through this.
Bullshit.
And now we kind of have an idea of what we're doing.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah. So I say we move on to false difficulty in video games. Specifically, me and Dylan we weren't really debating. We were talking about Bloodborne.
Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 3. How I feel like. Keep in mind, before I say this, little preference, that thing I do before I say literally anything controversial in this channel. I don't necessarily think Bloodborne's a bad game. Actually, I'm lying. I think it is a bad game. Oops. The reason I think it's a bad game is for a few reasons. Yeah, it's for a few reasons. But one of my main reasons is it wants to be difficult, but it's difficult in false ways.
Yeah.
But let me explain, if I may.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so Bloodborne is most commonly compared to Dark Souls for obvious reasons. I mean, I don't know. Was it made by the same developers?
It was made by the same development team.
Okay. It was made by the same development team. They have clearly the same type of combat, minus a few elements of which I will get into.
Minus the good elements of Dark Souls.
Yep, pretty much. And it is a grind fest that wants to look good but doesn't want to play good. And for a few reasons, now all this chalks up to personal preference. I will 100% say that. I will, there is no matter what I say, there's always going to be that guy that says, well, to me, you know what I mean? And that's fine. If you want to think Bloodborne's a good game, go for it. If you don't want to think it's a bad game and agree with me, go for it.
I don't think it's a good game or a bad game. Like, what I like about it is literally just the story, because it's just like, oh, you're in this place and it's like overrun by this like weird stuff going on, basically this giant alien thing, whatever it was.
Right.
Like, just go there, kill it. It's a simple story, but it does have some stops along the way, and it has some Easter eggs to Dark Souls stuff, like the campfires and stuff. Like, it has a lot of those. But, I mean, overall, Bloodborne doesn't play as good as you think it would, and I hope they fix a lot of that in Bloodborne 2.
I hope that we don't have to worry about Bloodborne 2, because the only interesting thing about Bloodborne is its setting. And as you just said, every person that I've met that has played Bloodborne says the same thing. I don't really like the gameplay. I like the setting. I like the Victorian era stuff.
I love it so much.
You don't ever hear people say, I love grinding for an hour to get one health potion. No, okay. Yeah, so here's my big problem with Bloodborne. The grinding. There's more grinding in this game than a gay bar.
And I'm grinder itself.
Okay, so I'm gonna call this the Dark Souls formula, because clearly, even though you can make the argument, but Trent, it's not Dark Souls, it's a completely different game. There are clearly elements that they're using. Yeah, there are clear elements that they're borrowing from the other game, and it follows a similar formula of, hey, you're getting beaten by a boss because you suck, not because the boss is actually difficult. However, in this game,
yeah, in Dark Souls,
yeah.
when you lose, it feels like it's your fault.
Yeah, like especially Dark Souls 2.
yeah,
Like from experience, that first boss you go against, it's like it's not their fault and it's not your fault either. It's really just the lack of experience if you pick up the game. Like it's really your fault, but it's also like, hey, this is a hard game.
Yeah, but returning back on my tangent, Dark Souls works because you get a innate setup. Let's say the setup is this, like from Dark Souls, let's say 2, for instance, right?
Yeah.
That forest. I don't know what the hell. I can't remember what the hell it's called, but that forest area.
Yeah.
You're at a pretty decent mass cast areas you can explore and go to. It's a starting point, and what you get in Dark Souls at every starting point, you get at least one healing item. With that one singular healing item, for the majority of the game, you can go with just that one singular healing item. The Dark Souls formula works because it gives you that one little bit of slack, and you learn how to ration that slack out to the point that when you use it, you mean it. Bloodborne tries to take this too literally by making it so the same currency that you use to level up is the same currency you use to buy items. Isn't that how it was, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
You spend more time leaving that formula and leaving that way of to just kill random fodder enemies and collect random fodder items and collect random fodder boosts to get health potions and to get ammo for a weapon that is only good for counters. They took out shields. Why? You're basically punishing players who played very defensively in your other series. Why not give us the option of playing much more defensively without having to rely on counters all the time?
Exactly.
I don't want to have to time a shot that's most likely. Sometimes it even work because man, I swear to God, that blunderbuss only worked when it wanted to.
Legit. Okay, I had to completely restart the game because I messed up. Because as you're going through like the origin and stuff, they don't have like, and I hate it so much now because that's the thing I like about the Dark Souls series, because it also has a very good story, and your origin actually your costume depends on your origin. Like the starting costume you get depends on what your origin is. So like, what was it? Wasn't an Apache one of them?
For what? Dark Souls?
Yeah, wasn't it? It was kind of like an Apache.
I think, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, like starting off that one, you get like what looks to be Native American gear and stuff. So like, you have an axe and
no, you're thinking of I think Warrior is what it was.
Warrior.
Like, it was a very fantasy like sounding thing.
Yeah, like, and it feels good to play it. Like it feels good to block and it feels good to counter. Okay, and depending on your race, gets you like the status and stuff. Like gets like how much health you have starting off with, like how much of a boost you get when you kill enemies, like money wise, like currency wise and stuff. And how much damage you actually do.
And then in Bloodborne, you get a class that's based around swords and stuff, or excuse me, the really shitty weird blade weapons they have, because gotta have those aesthetically pleasing sights for players to use, even though our weapon pool isn't even half the size of Dark Souls 3.
Exactly.
Isn't even half the size of a Dark Souls game.
It's literally
you get a class that's based on the blades. You get one that's based on the guns, which is fucking worthless, and a class that's based on this game's version of magic, which no one ever uses because it's shitty.
Yeah. You keep going on this. I'm actually gonna plug up my PlayStation real quick, and because I have Bloodborne already.
I don't know. It was such a letdown to me, to the point that I didn't keep the game for longer than a week. And this has come from me, and I put up with a lot of bullshit. And I did. It's just the fact that it is legitimately grind fest the game. And to me, as a player, those are not the kind of games I like. I don't mind grinding. I love JRPGs, and everyone knows JRPGs are infamous for sometimes you have to grind. You have to grind to get shit done, basically.
Yeah, but grinding should still feel good.
Yeah, and it didn't in Bloodborne. It felt like I'm doing this so I can get a chance to fight a boss. Oh, look, I fight a boss and I lose. I didn't lose because of my skill. I lost because the game made me grind for hours, and I get hit once. I have to use this health potion that I don't even think you can upgrade. I think it's just the base health. Like, it goes up.
Yeah.
That's another thing about the Estus Flask. You can upgrade them, and like you can make them better. So like if you kept one throughout the entire game, if you were smart and like looked around the environment and stuff, sometimes not even weirdly cryptic ways to find them, you can upgrade it and literally keep that one Estus Flask the entire game and be just fine. So I don't know. I just feel like Bloodborne isn't very good because it makes you it focuses too much on the grinding aspect of Dark Souls and removes a lot of the options that made Dark Souls unique, which was the intense the created character part of Dark Souls, and made it just feel it focused too much on its aesthetic and not its gameplay. And that's that's my tangent about Bloodborne.
Yeah. Also, my last point for is that brought up in the other today. You make one sound while killing an enemy, automatically 15 come out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like you've scoped the area for like 15 minutes, and then just you make sure that nothing's gonna come out of anywhere. You make one sound and you hit a pole.
Yep.
Like, okay, we get it. Like that does work in Dark Souls because it's 3 or 4 enemies, and it is very easy and or hard to get them off. Okay, but in Bloodborne, it's just okay. Here's like 5 enemies. Take care of them.
Yeah.
I have like one potion left. What the heck?
And I'm on my way to fight a boss. So basically, you have to run through the entire dungeon instead of how it is in Dark Souls, where you got to fight a boss, you go through the dungeon again, and it's fine because you're prepared for that.
Like
Bloodborne, also, you have to do things 100% perfect.
Yeah, like also your point with the blunt, it's the worst weapon in the game. Like
right.
Both guns are. Like the starting guns are horrible. Like, okay, the pistol does like a little bit more damage and stuff, but you use the blunderbuss to even counter anything, and like you're dead by the time it hits them.
Yep. But yeah, moving on from that, I think we've made it pretty clear.
Brett,
yeah.
From Software,
yeah. Anyways, from Software, feel free to come on the podcast.
Yeah, that's defend yourself.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Brett.
All right, if anybody from Software decides to fucking listen to our shitty podcast for whatever reason, it's the offer's open.
Yeah.
Contact
defend yourself. Next topic.
I'm gonna add them in this episode when it comes out.
Do it. You won't. At them.
Yeah,
at them and have a timestamp.
Also at Bethesda.
Yeah.
Come fight us because we want the Elder Scrolls 6 already, please.
Yeah, and can I know there's gonna be issues with an open world game, but can you not bug the fuck out?
Right.
Bethesda, like, for the love of God, I love Skyrim, but I don't love it 5 fucking times.
And make your opening cutscenes skippable from here on in. Please.
Oh, I literally had to have a separate save so I could skip that shit. On my PS3, I have a save that, like, immediately once you start the game, you just make your character and go from there.
Understandable, yeah.
But yeah,
there's actually a mod that just skips the game straight after that whole opening tutorial underground section.
I'm mad because I want that.
It was like on the front page of the Nexus the other day, and I was like, fine, I'll grab this. This is something I'll genuinely want.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Brett.
I don't remember what I was saying. Something about adding them.
You were pulling up another point, if I recall. You were about to look at your list, and I think it's
Discord kind of split screened right now with my Discord on the right and the splits on the left, so I can see.
It was the Mario-thon, right?
Yeah, that was the only lighter topic that I have.
Okay.
And that was less about a discussion point, more just an announcement that I wanted to make about the whole month of March just being Mario-related videos.
Oh, really?
Half
Wait,
my
does
channel
that mean
already.
does that mean that the Mario sketches are gonna start coming out? Like, are we gonna start
No,
making those?
because we're not prepared for those.
Can we actually start preparing for them then?
Is there any way I
Do
could
you have
possibly
the
help
money to
out?
buy Do you have the money to buy like 5 pairs of overalls, shirts, pants, and custom-made hats? Well, not
Okay.
pants, but clothes.
I do not, but is there any way I could help out? I would be happy to.
I mean, yeah, we could probably squeeze you in as a character somewhere. Honestly,
Princess
I'll do
Peach,
whatever's needed. Because you know
he
me.
is the
just-
princess.
you
Yeah.
are Peach
um
and Daisy. He's Peach and Daisy
Yeah,
and
on
Toad.
second thought.
You're also Toad. Don't worry.
but if we do let a dude play Peach or Daisy, I want it to be very obvious that it's a man.
Oh no, it will be very obvious. Trent's a man, dude.
Yeah.
Like Trent's gonna put on like the deepest voice imaginable, and
So you mean
just
my regular
fake girl.
voice, basically?
Yeah, or just like his fake girl. No. Voice, but for there's emphasis, he kind of just breaks character and just does this really man voice out of nowhere.
Also, my character is Wario and Brett's is Waluigi.
Of course it is. And I couldn't get Mario or Luigi to play.
I mean, honestly, Luigi.
I just want to do Mario just so I can do that thing you did one time on Snapchat where you were like, "It's a Mario." Just wanted to announce that the Emoji Movie is coming out. So let me before we go to our next point, which I hope our next point is the deep one. Before we go to the deep point, I would like to mention that when the Emoji Movie was coming out, every single day I've Dylan added on Snapchat. Every single day leading up to the movie, Dylan put a different character from a different franchise on his face and would impersonate them, but he wouldn't impersonate them. He would just say in a deep voice, "Hey everybody, it's insert character name here. Just letting you know the Emoji Movie is coming out soon." And my favorite one was the Mario one because I guess he couldn't find a picture of Mario's like still head, so he just has a picture of Mario on his face, and Mario's standing and everything on his face, and like he just says, "It's a Mario." Just letting you know that the Emoji Movie is coming out this weekend. That's right, this weekend. And it was, I think it was like 7 in the morning when I saw it, and I was like, Christ.
This is the best thing I've seen in
I
my
remember sending those.
Yeah, I think about those at least once a week.
You should have done it. You should have done it again when it was coming out on Netflix.
Oh my god, I should have.
You won't do it for Rampage, the new Dwayne
Oh,
The Rock
yeah,
Johnson
I will.
movie. Do it.
Yeah, I will.
I'm actually excited for that movie.
Will.
I'm actually excited for that movie because I like the old Rampage games because they're actually cool, like destruction games. But yeah, so which heavy point are we hitting on first tonight? Kind of, since the cheese has been eaten now.
Oh shit! Oh god!
I say we leave the big one. You know which one I'm talking about, to the last thing.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only other thing I have, I don't know if we brought it up before, but I know for a fact we said something about it in the original cuts, because I just left it in the list because I know this is one that I wanted to talk about in those episodes.
Can I guess?
What do you think it is?
Black Panther.
No, but that is something else we could talk about, though, somewhere in the middle.
Because I remember we did briefly discuss like Black Panther and race and stuff like that.
And how they are literally still telling us that they don't.
Yeah, but what was yours, Brett? Go ahead and tell me.
The original.
The one I was talking about, what I have written here is, should someone be fired over allegations, false or true?
No. And I will. Well, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. I answered that too quickly. I don't think someone should be fired, but I think someone should have the decency to resign if it's something extreme. You know what I mean?
Like, can we all?
And I mean, and if it's a corporation, they're gonna fire him anyways. But like, if it's something extremely extreme, me personally, as a human being, if it involved my job, I would probably resign anyway, just because that's me as a person. I don't like to deal with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like under a circumstance that there's no proof of it, but then again, it's unfalsifiable as a statement because there's no proof against it either.
Yeah,
So
I mean it's
just
a
up
it's a
in the
tough
air
call
that
to
this
make.
guy might be a rapist of some kind, or he might not. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a tough
Can
call to
y'all-
make, really.
Okay, what exactly? Like, I didn't hear about any of this.
Okay, so there's no real rape thing going on right now. There's something completely different going on about domestic abuse, but like I was trying to make it not obvious that we were kind of subtly hitting on that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Did he quit or was he fired? I thought he resigned.
He resigned.
I think a better question would be like, should someone resign if there's allegations against them? But I mean,
what do you feel about resigning? I know you said you would, but like,
it depends. I mean, it really depends how badly it's my job, stuff like that. Like, if I have people coming into me every single day at my face, like saying shit to me and like making my job more of a hell than it should be, like to the point where it's actually legitimately affecting my mental health, then yeah, I'm gonna resign. But if it's just
those allegations are around, I would wait and resign after the whole thing is kind of blown over.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I'm talking about like post allegations, like people coming up and saying stuff to me, because people don't forget about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but it does. Yeah, they do. I would definitely say that they do. People
Really?
who are directly involved don't forget, and people who were secondarily involved don't forget. But like when it's in the public eye like that and it's a huge story, like people forget. People just don't care at a point.
Oh, you're meaning on like that kind of thing that happened.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
there was a domestic abuse scandal like a few years ago. I can't even name the guy, but it was proven without a shadow of a doubt that he did it. And not only that, but it was worse than people said. And yet he's fine now. He's actually doing very well for himself.
That's crazy.
Like nobody ever talks about it anymore. And Tiger Woods, he does crazy shit every couple of years, but nobody ever mentions it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, in media time, that's like 1,000 years ago.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. It depends. It really honestly does. Like, if I'm being completely transparent here, it honestly depends. If I like to think that if it didn't really affect my job and it didn't really affect me as a person, I would just get over it, whether it be during or post. But I like to think to myself, yeah, I would quit. But I mean, people wouldn't believe me, but I would be completely transparent and say why. I mean, just like the guy that quit for the it was also on the Philip DeFranco show, the ANC or whatever it was called. I think isn't it the ANC? It was on his episode. Yeah, he quit because of all his allegations and like scandals and stuff. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I'm just doing what's best for me and for my job, which his was a foundation. But you get what I mean? Like pretty similar, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a similar enough case to where it can be brought up as an example.
Yeah. Obviously, his was a completely different situation, but I think it's similar enough for the sake of an analogy, like how I feel about it. But I mean, it's just all dependent on who you are, really. Yep. So, Dylan, do you have anything to add before?
No, because I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
So after this, can please someone explain?
All right, Dylan, I do want you to give a little input on this because I know you replied to a tweet in which I replied to someone about it. And I can't remember who exactly you replied to. I saw it in my mentions, and I looked at it, and I saw the thread. And I don't believe it was a direct reply to me. I think it was a reply to someone replying to me, replying to a tweet. So
it was a reply to you replying. It was a reply to her, but I just replied to your comments. So.
So you were just basically continuing the thread.
Yeah.
Okay, what happened?
Let me fill you in on this. There was a tweet, paraphrasing said tweet. It said, I'm not going to even exaggerate this any. I'm just going to say what I remember from the tweet. And it said, the shooter did not work alone. He had Congress and the president working with him. And that exact tweet got me like fired up about it because one, 17, my main point was 17 innocents, not counting the people who were just injured. 17 innocent people died, and yet here you are completely just trying to pin the entire blame on Trump and throw like some political mudslinging into the ring.
I mean,
This early.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
like,
I mean that's what always happens. And I'm not gonna try not to go on a tangent, but like we all know what this is leading up to: guns, and whether they should be banned or whether they should not be banned, or all this conversation about it and stuff like that. And I don't think the conversation's bad. It's just that no one gets time to grieve anymore. Like no one gives anybody the respect of like
exactly. And I got so much shit in my mentions from just saying that people should have the human decency to give it at least like a day or two.
Yeah.
At the very minimum. Just
exactly.
because people died and their lives should not be forgotten over just the fact that some people like guns and some people don't.
Exactly.
And here's the thing too: whether or not you agree that they should be banned or not or whatever, I just don't see why you don't let people. And I'm not talking about people as a whole. I just want to talk about it. I'm talking about people who go on TV and who go on the news and stuff, and like they turn it from this tragedy happened to how can we use this to push our political agenda about how we think guns should be more allowed or how guns should not be allowed, and it completely goes from a situation of this is a horrible thing to happen, and here let's all give support to the people and the family and the friends and the people who weren't related, the people who died and everything, to let's see how we can turn this into another debate about something.
Exactly. Like, and that starts off at my point when I like, I'm gonna paraphrase here. It was something like, you don't need to start shouting gun control over a day, like legit the day it happens.
Right.
Because, okay, you have to think about the families. Like, they're not thinking, oh my god, we need to ban guns. They're thinking, oh my god, my child is dead. They're going through much worse crap than you are right now.
Yeah, and it's just crazy. Yeah, it's honestly
greedy with your life, and they don't care about the other people's lives.
Yeah, and this goes for all sides of the spectrum. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna be completely transparent. I'm a moderate. I don't really associate with any specific political party.
Neither do I.
I hold both conservative and liberal views for different things, but
Neither
I'm also
I think the whole party system is stupid in the first place.
Yeah, I have views on both ends of the spectrum, and I do mean that literally. Like I'm very neutral about almost everything, but when it comes down to it, when a shooting happens and your first thought isn't, oh my god, that's a horrible thing that happened, what can we do to stop that? And your first thought is, well, if they had more guns, it would have solved the problem. Or well, if Trump wasn't a president, that wouldn't have happened. Then maybe you need to reevaluate yourself as a human being. Because I can, as someone I'm not even gonna lie, I love guns. I think guns are fucking awesome. I don't own one. I've always wanted to go to a firing range, and I'm interested in genuinely learning more about how they work mechanically and everything like that, to the point that if I had the option to take a class, I've actually done research and wanted to learn where to take a class in our local area to learn more about them. I would totally do it.
That's good.
But me as a person, when it happened, my first thought wasn't, oh, if they had more guns, they would have been safe. It was, oh my god, what happened? Because those are children. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to look down on you guys. You guys are still in high school. For the record, I didn't mention it on the last podcast. I mentioned it on our very first take whenever it messed up. But I graduated already. I've been in college. I'm a little bit older than Dylan and Brett. But like these are kids, man. Only by year, but a little bit.
Anyway, yeah, these are kids.
Yeah, these are. I mean, what did they ever? They looked like they were in 11th grade, 11th or 12th grade, I think.
And I get, okay, they're saying that they're trying to do the whole who was it? Keith Urban or whatever concert? I can't remember the concert, but that shooting in L.A. They're trying to push the whole thing with that.
Wasn't that Vegas?
Yeah, it was Vegas. Yeah,
Vegas. Yeah. They're
Okay, I
trying
was
to
just
push the
making
whole
sure
thing
that we
with
were
that.
actually correct here.
Yeah, yeah. They're trying to push the whole thing with that being, oh, well, there's like stuff way going on with it, and I do understand that this specific the kid who did do the shooting, he did call out for help multiple times. Like he tried to get help for his because apparently he had mental health issues. Okay, and he tried to get help for him, but his parents are dead, and he was in a foster home, but they didn't do anything about it apparently. Like they wouldn't take him to a therapist, they wouldn't let him talk, they wouldn't take him to talk to anybody. Okay, and he did get bullied a lot, and he was also kicked out of school. I don't remember on what reason.
It's just I don't know. And the kid
That
the kid did have like
I we I just mentioned that.
what it is. I didn't. I think it was cutting out.
What happened?
Yeah.
Counselors, he asked for help.
Honestly, I'm surprised that they never like. The guy literally posted on or commented on YouTube. I want to be a professional school shooter, and his username was name. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like that was the ultimate cry out for help for literally
Yeah.
the comment, I want to be a professional school shooter. Like he was trying to get so much help and no one
Yeah.
would help him.
And I mean, now at this point, and I hate to sound crude, but like, I don't know how you guys, and I'm about to get into a big topic. So, Brett, do you mind? I'm just asking to make sure it's okay
Oh, no,
with
go
you.
right ahead. We've already hit the point of people dying, so you might as well
All
ramp it
right.
up a little.
All right. Well, I don't know how you feel about the death penalty, but I think this guy needs it. I think he needs I think breathing right now for him is a luxury. I genuinely mean that.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from on that. And I was perfectly okay with jumping into this. A little scared, honestly, because I mean, even though I can cut it out and post, we all know that it was said. But at the same time, go right ahead with this topic because this is something that I genuinely feel does need to be said. Because this is a garbage person.
I feel very strongly about this. I might feel too strongly about this actually, to be honest. But I think that if there ever was a clear cut case of someone who needed the death penalty, I think this is it because there's more signs that show that he did this willingly and knew exactly what he was doing to the point that him pleading insanity for the first time in a while in a shooting case isn't actually what he could get because there's more evidence to prove from what I've seen that he willingly chose to do this and he knew the consequences, that he knew what he was doing. At least if someone pleads insanity, they usually have evidence to show that their mind could not comprehend consequence. It could not comprehend I am taking a life out of this world. But no, this guy who's like our age, strapped up, went to a high school and killed 17 innocent people with no remorse or anything.
Somewhere around 20-something, I think.
Yeah. And it makes me mad that there are people who honestly think, oh, life in prison's worth life in prison is good enough for this guy. No, I want him to fry. I want him dead. I want him 6 feet under. I want him to experience that same kind of feeling of absolute terror at the thought of the unknown as those 17 people did. He sitting there.
Getting the death penalty is a little okay at its current standing because one, you're not feeling the pain of a bullet going through you.
Yeah.
Two, you get one last meal and you get sometimes up to a year before your actual execution date to think about it.
And that's what pisses me off. And I'm not saying prisons 5-star hotels are not. Some of them are actually, from what I've been told from people who have been in prison and what I've seen online, some of them aren't that bad. Some of them are horrible things where human rights isn't really a thing and some shady shit happens. But like at the same time, you're still guaranteed 3 square meals a day and a place to sleep. Yeah, horrible shit might happen to you, but that's not my fucking problem. I'm not gonna sympathize with people who are in prison.
At the end of the day, you got yourself there and you're still alive.
I think the death penalty should be around for people who have clear cut. I murdered this innocent person. I knew what I was doing, and I have no sense of consequence in the sense that I don't give a shit. And I think it should be there for them, for rapists, and for people who well, I guess it kind of goes in the rapist category, like child molesters too.
I get your guys' points on why you want him to be dead and stuff, but okay, I'm not saying that I sympathize with this guy either. Like, I'm not saying, oh, he doesn't need to be dead, but I am saying that no. What it is I totally, like, I do blame the system a lot, but, like, once again, I still don't have a preference on, like, either side of, like, whatever. Like, I'm not liberal, I'm not conservative. Like, I'm just me, okay? I don't care. But, like, with this kid right here, he did call out for help multiple times. He did, like, try to talk to people about it, and he made a clear statement with the whole, I want to be a professional shooter. Like, he pushed out for help, and no one ever helped him. Okay? It is messed up. It is real messed up that he did kill 17 people, and multiple more died from injury. But you really do have to think, okay? If this kid just seeked out the help and never got it, something in your head would snap too, and you would do that, okay?
The system is broken. I'll give it that.
Oh, Brett, were you continuing, or were you just saying that?
No, I was just making the point that, like, the way therapy works in, like, the modern society and the way being able to, quote-unquote, get help works is not optimal in any form.
But it actually does help, though.
It helps, but it's just the problem that it's not helping the people who need it most.
Yeah,
it's a very
helping the people who are like, oh, hey, I had a bad dream one day and it keeps coming back to me. And, like, no, that's not what you need help with. If you have serious mental problems and or very vigorous anger issues, like I do, you need help about this.
I think when it comes to that, like the success of therapy, I see it as more of a case by case basis. You can take averages and stuff, but I think it's still, when it boils down to it, a very person by person type deal, because obviously you could probably have the same kind of issues as another person, but therapy that works for them might not necessarily work for you in a sense.
Like if he could have just talked to somebody, this could have all been avoided, but no one wanted to listen. No one cared about him because, yeah, he was an outcast. He did some pretty shady stuff. But, like, okay, just because you are, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, like our school does, and how they don't care about literally anybody who does not play sports.
Ooh,
they automatically cast them aside as an outcast because they do not give two anythings about them.
Are you talking about the student body, or are you talking about?
I was about to say I have to mildly disagree.
School in general, like
hold on, I'll have to. And like I said, I went to this school too, so I'm I have to somewhat disagree because because I don't think it's that bad. Because I mean, DJ, I didn't play. I played sports my senior year, and all my years before that, I never really felt like an outcast. And neither, as far as I know, neither the DJ, like, he wasn't ever treated like an outcast or anything. And I was treated decently well by the faculty. I mean, I had a couple dick teachers, but I never felt like the faculty was against me or anything. I'll admit there is a bias towards people who play sports, but I don't think that's the point of, like, if I was getting beat up by a kid and a sports guy was getting beat up by a kid, they would go help the sports kid first. I mean, for goodness sakes, me and DJ were almost in a gang fight against like three guys, and Mr. Murray like handled it and everything, and none of us play sports or anything, and two of them did. So I mean, and we were treated better than they were. So I mean, I know, and like I said, I can't account for experience because my experience is different from yours. But I'm just saying, from my perspective, I don't think that's 100% like clear cut. But I will admit there is a bias on certain things when it comes to the sports players. Certain things.
Yeah. I wanted to disagree with that because I'm in AV, which is a newer program that has just recently cropped up that I've been in from the beginning. And at first, honestly, we got no funding. We were just in a classroom throwing ideas around for like a half a semester until we got access to the lab, and then we started getting to work every day. And now it's evolved to a point where the school is 100% supportive of us when it
I would
comes
say
to
AV gets treated pretty good. I've monitored my observing.
Yeah, you were in there the other day. You saw some of the equipment we have.
Yeah,
I don't know if you actually walked into the AV room where we do the news and
I
stuff.
did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look in those cabinets, there are 4 cameras, not including the one with the stabilizer attached to it, which is way more than we've ever used on any singular project.
Yeah.
There are like 5 or 6 tripods, about 9 different microphones, and then there are 2 heavy-duty editing bays.
And here's my thing, and someone might argue, oh, they're just doing that because you just make stuff for the school. Yes, but the school also has the funding to hire a professional. Like they could hire professional video editors and make like film people to do that kind of thing. I mean, you get what I mean?
Yeah, but like.
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that could be a counterpoint that someone could say. It's just someone saying, oh, they're only giving you all that because you're doing stuff for the school or whatever. And I'm like, no, I mean, because if the school didn't care about the student body and giving the student body more things to do that they might actually enjoy and having diversity within the classes, they could just get a professional grade, someone to film it and someone to edit it, because they have the funding for that, and it wouldn't be too much.
Yeah, they definitely do, because they could literally get by. Like, it's not even that they could hire people to do it better than we could. It's more that in the situation that we're currently in, we could have less than half of the equipment that we have, because most of that stuff, honestly, barely gets used.
Right.
Also, 4 cameras. There's actually 6, if you include the one with the stabilizer and the one we use for news.
Right.
So, not only do we have a proper green screen setup, we also have the software to properly make use of that. And we have not 1, but 2 heavy-duty PCs that are able to render like an hour-and-a-half long feature-length thing in like 5 seconds, and it's amazing.
Right.
And like, my point here is that if they didn't care, we wouldn't have like half the funding that we get.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean that, and like I said, we're not trying to gang lead. Just, I think that I do feel bad for the kid, because the kid clearly had some issues. I mean, he was like killing small animals and doing all that shit, and doing some really bad things. But I think that, yeah, it sucks. But I mean, it is kind of after the fact, and I think I'm gonna be blunt. I think he should die. I think he should be put to death. I think he should be put to death in a horrible and gruesome way. I think he should be put in a room with every single person's family that he killed, and they get 5 minutes. All 17 of those people, their entire family with him in a room, and they all take turns.
Didn't Philip DeFranco say something similar to that? Because I do remember hearing that somewhere.
Okay, yeah. So what happened? Well, are you thinking about like a story that he covered or something?
Guys.
No, like when he was talking about the whole.
What'd you say, Dylan?
In the room with the family.
Wrap this up. Check the
and then 15 minutes.
Oh, do you say in 15 minutes?
No, I didn't. I was talking about the point that you made. I could have swore Philip said something similar to that.
I'll say this where we wrap it up.
Yeah, because it's nearing around time anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, he covered a story about like one of the fathers, and one of the things, like the kids got, I don't know why I said things, one of the girls got molested by the acrobat guy or whatever. The guy that would be in charge of like making sure the girls like hips and stuff didn't pop out of place when they were doing their acrobatics or whatever. He was like, yeah, let me get like 5 minutes alone with them in a room, and the judge was like, no, let me get like 5 minutes alone with them, right? And then the judge was like, no. And then he said, no, let me 5 minutes. And he kept bringing down the minutes to like 1 minute, 2 minutes. And then the judge was like, no, you can't. And the guy was like, all right, I'm going to just go get it myself. And he ran towards the guy, full speed.
Yeah. Okay, this is coming back to me now, and this was great. I fully commend that man for trying to just enact just some Batman justice on that dude.
Right. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I feel, but yeah, that's the last thing I gotta say.
Okay, I hate to end it on a somber topic, but since Dylan is kind of out of it, considering he's got stuff to get done, and I also don't want to run this too long, even though we're an hour 25. We're very close to an hour 30, and I could squeeze out 5 more. But at the same time, the podcast topic list is literally empty. We got through everything in
What?
these 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Right? And I can't guarantee that, speaking straight to the audience, I can't guarantee that it'll be the same setup next week, but I can guarantee at some point next week you will be receiving another episode of this, whether it's all 3 of us, whether it's just 2 of us, whether it's just me and like some random guest. Hell, it might be all 3 of us and a guest.
It'll probably, like I said, I'm gonna try to start doing this as a thing, weekly thing, for both my channel and your channel. You know what I mean? Like cross promotion.
Because not only do I get like an hour and a half of content, not including the immense amount of money I'm probably gonna make off mid-roll ads.
Yeah.
Even though I make like 10 cents off of 5, even get the views that I'm hoping it will. Jesus, this is gonna be great.
Right.
Wait, aren't they
From an
just
ad
paying off they're not paying off watch time anymore, and like because the new stuff and
no, they're paying off upload frequency, and if you can keep up with stuff.
Right.
It's still not how it should be. It's still not the number of total views of the video.
Yeah,
like, have you seen the parents from the Charlie Bit My Finger video back when it was just view count related payment?
Yeah.
Dude, that they made literally over $1 billion off that one video.
Fucking Christ.
Same with Psy from the Gangnam Style video.
Which, to be fair, he was pretty
low. Immense budget on that music video and then some, because that was the most watched video until fairly recently. But yeah, after Dylan unwinded us into that tangent, Trent, do you have anything you want to say as a final note here?
No, I'm good. I think I got on kind of strong about my feelings on it, but I mean, 17 people, man. I feel strongly about it.
I mean, yeah, you can't not feel strongly when 17 people die.
I mean, I still feel strongly about it. Yeah.
I mean,
you could have gotten help.
Yeah.
And honestly, I wish I had more topics that were more light so that we could have phased into that and then ended it on a more high note, but...
Okay, ending it on a happy note. President's Day is Monday.
Yeah, President's Day is like the past Monday before this, so I hope you had a good President's Day.
Someone's going to comment. Someone's going to hear you say that and comment and be like, fucking Trump. But, no.
Motherfuckers. No, but you guys wouldn't believe that. Okay, I'll talk to you guys about that off the record, but because there's some very interesting stuff there. Let's get into the outro here. So jumping right into it, if you enjoyed this episode, leave a like. If you didn't, drop a dislike. And if you feel very strongly or don't feel very strongly about anything we said in this video, but you still have an opinion, feel free to drop that in the comments down below. And I read pretty much every comment as far as right now is concerned. And maybe next week you'll get a cool new episode thing going. So, yeah. I hope you enjoyed this podcast that you're watching from the future right now. Am I dead in this timeline? Maybe.
I sure hope so. For myself.
Yeah. You're dead by the time this episode comes out, and I have to just put an in loving memory of Trent, and I'm like, damn it, I have to put in some editing work.
Even if he's not. Just
seem
put
like
in
a good
loving
person
memory
in his final will and testament being the RetroCast.
Just, even if he's not dead by the time this episode airs, just memory of Trent. He's not dead. We just had to commemorate him somehow.
Every time that I'm not on the podcast, just do that.
Yes.
I mean,
no,
this episode already has a title, and the working title for it that I've come up with, due to the whole beginning half just being about Dylan complaining about Logan. I think that last episode.
No, this was this one. This was this one.
was this
I
one.
think.
Okay. I was pretty sure it was, because I was gonna name it Dylan's Therapy Hour,
Yeah.
and then
No,
I'm just
but-
gonna sit to fucking at
Dr.
from
Mario.
software.
Dr. Mario, dude.
You
What?
should.
The Dr. Mario, the like one for this should be Dr. Mario, just Dylan's Therapy Hour.
I mean, I could do a Dr. Mario type thing, because retro game titles are easier to edit than newer game titles.
That is-
Right. Yeah.
Which I plan on using the campfire one that I set up, the Dark Souls one.
That is, yeah, that's actually, yeah. Dark Souls
appropriate.
was this episode. Do that one instead.
Yeah, the Dark Souls one's this episode, the Mario one last episode, and the Pac-Man one, and then the other one probably.
Contra.
Yeah, Contra. I did Contra too.
Yep.
Also, did you guys see the edit of the Konami logo in that?
Oh, yeah.
Anywho, I'm stopping this recording. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.
Bye.